Hello, everyone, and welcome back, everyone, to Immigration Talk Show. I'm your host, Sam, and this is Daily Immigration Dose that is streaming live at 4 p.m. EST. So I'm so happy to have you all here, and thank you so much for joining us. And before moving ahead, let me read out this very important disclaimer. By watching our videos, you understand that the information shared, including user comments, is not a professional advice. So use at your own risk. Our intention is never to offend, it's just a casual exchange of ideas. So that's all the important disclaimer. And friends, we are live on YouTube, available on LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and on Instagram as well. So do follow us on these many platforms. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Immigration Talk Show. And with that, friends, today we are here with another very important and very timely topic, that is how to ensure you properly file your H1B cap subject petition. So in this webinar, we are going to have a lots of discussion about the process, about the forms, what are the correct way to fill it, and also what mistakes do mostly applicants do. So I think with that also, to help me out in making this session more informative one, I have my co-host Nipasa Pradhan. So thank you, Nipasa, for being here, and I'm so happy to have you all here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sam. As always, it's always great to be here on Daily Immigration Dose. So exciting it is. And of course, like you said, it's a very timely topic. When you talk about H1B, it's a process that's very, very crucial, critical, and it involves, pathways for skilled foreign workers, professionals out there to
Mhm.
work in the United States. So,
Yeah.
filing can be really, really a difficult process or tricky process rather, and it requires strict attention. So today we will be discussing on how, we could do it the right way and protect ourselves maybe from rejection or denial. So yes, looking forward for the discussion ahead. And before we head on to our points of discussion on today's topic, I think we should also, read out, give out a few news updates. What do you say, Sam?
That's right. I think, Nipasa, would you like to take up, or should I start with the news update?
Sure, I can do that. And I got this first news update, folks, and that is, a new US immigration rule: applicants must share social media handles. So, yes, it's big news in the immigration world. If you're planning to apply for a US visa, green card, or citizenship, listen up, folks. You've got to share your social media activity now, and it's officially under the microscope. So, yes, under Executive Order 14161, signed by our President Donald Trump on January 20th, 2025, this year, applicants will be required to disclose their social media handles when submitting their immigration forms. And yes, if you talk about it, in fact, on the 5th of March 2025, DHS also, Department of Homeland Security, issued a formal notification in the Federal Register confirming that this policy is really moving forward. So, what does this mean for you? Well, if you're applying under nine major immigration categories, including the N400 for citizenship or the I-485 for a green card, you'll need to list your social media usernames. But no, they won't be asking for passwords, of course. But yes, DHS has also announced a 60-day public comment period before finalizing the policy. And now, while officials claim this is about national security, immigration attorneys and privacy advocates are really raising concerns because, um, yes, they're also raising concerns about longer processing times and the risk of misinterpretation of online activity. So the bottom line is, if you're applying for any immigration benefit, it's time to review your social media presence carefully. They'll be keeping a close eye on this developing thing. And yes, I think to know more about this, you should also stay tuned with us at Immigration Talk Show. And yeah, you can also share what do you think about this. Do you think it's a good thing, fair thing, or you think that there's too much scrutiny? Yeah. So let us know. You can comment or you can call us to let us know what you think on this note as well. And you can participate in this conversation with us today by dialing this number 425-436-6335, and the access code is 988-888. So that was my news update. And now, Sam, over to you.
All right. So, friends, I do have some news update that I would like our viewers to know about it. And that is something about how America's Children Act benefits H1B visa holders' kids. So, children of H1B visa holders face the risk of aging out when they turn 21 before their parents get a green card. So, this means that they no longer qualify as dependents and may have to leave the US, even if they have lived there most of their lives, but still they have to leave the US. Many Indian families are getting affected by this due to green card backlogs, which can take decades to clear. And if we talk about how it is impacting, then I think thousands of Indian children who grew up in the US on H4 dependent visas may be forced to leave the country if they age out before their parents' green card is processed. Some families are considering moving to countries with more flexible immigration policies like Canada or UK, basically except US. So, if we also talk about America's Children Act, what it is, then a new bipartisan bill called America's Children Act has been introduced in Congress, and the aim is to allow children who have grown up in the US to stay and eventually apply for a green card and citizenship. Well, this would prevent these individuals from self deportation, means leaving the US because their visa status got expired, and also to ensure that they maintain their place in the green card line. And if we talk about the importance of immigration reform, then advocates argue that 10,000 children are at risk of leaving the US each year, and most of whom are studying or working in critical fields like STEM or healthcare. So the bill highlights the need for immigration reform to keep these talented individuals in the US, but let's see what's going to happen. And if we talk about Trump's immigration policies, then while President Donald Trump has promised to welcome tech graduates, there are concerns also about potential rollbacks on programs like DACA, which protects undocumented children brought to the US at a young age. So, in short, friends, we can say that the America's Children Act is designed to help children of H1B visa holders to avoid aging out and being forced to leave the US, offering them a path to stay, work, and eventually become citizen. But right now, we are not sure what's going to happen as there may be citizenship is at risk. What do you think about? Do you think it's fair? Do you think the system needs to modify more, or maybe some new immigration policies should be there to at least make children feel safe that they may become the citizen as how the process used to go ahead till now? So let us know what you think about this in the comments below, and we will definitely have a great conversation to that. And right now, I think we both are done with our news update, friends. So I think without any further ado, let's begin with our very first topic, about how to ensure you properly file your H1B cap subject petition. So I think, Napasa, about the topic we have already discussed. So let's begin with the first step, and that is fill out the right form, and that is Form I-129. So it's a very first thing, and we all know that when filing for an H1B visa, we have to fill out Form I-129. And the important part of Form I-129 is two category. Firstly, there's H classification supplement. So this section is all about the job. Basically means you have to describe the position that you're offering, and also you have to explain it in a very clear way that why you need someone for that specific job. For example, if you're hiring a software engineer, then you need to clarify and you have to explain exactly what role they are going to have and what they are going to do, what skills are required for that job, and why you need this role to be filled. So, you have to be very much specific about each and everything. And of course, because this time everything is being very strict, and this time you can't expect any leniency towards the immigration system. So you have to explain and you have to give detail of each and everything, why the employer is willing to have that foreign worker, what role does he have, or why is the H1B is basically filing for that employer, for that employee. And there's another thing also, that is H1B data collection and filing fee exemption supplement. So this part helps the government to figure out how much you need to pay in fees. So this part is mostly about the fee payment and all. It also checks if the petition falls under any special category, like whether the job qualifies for a fee exemption or not. For instance, if the person you are hiring has worked for a university before, then that person could be free from fee exemption. And the important, I would say, tip or important advice is also, friends, to always make sure that you are downloading the most recent version of Form I 129. And that too, you have to make sure that you are downloading it from a very credible source, that is USCIS.gov website. And the government often updates the forms. Using an outdated version can also cause a big problem and can reject the petition, because most of the time we have seen that there are companies who accidentally use the old version, and because of that the petition might get rejected, and there's a lot of problem creating by using the old version. Then I think, yeah, this is the problem, and this is the mistake also that what companies do. So I think, the pastor, this is the first step. Please go ahead with the second one.
Absolutely, Sam, and very well put. I mean, if you want your filing to be valid, you should use the latest updated form. So keep in mind and do your research properly. And best is to always, contact an attorney, an immigration attorney who will help you and guide you through your whole process properly in the right way. So all the best for all folks out there who are filing into this year's lottery, that is for fiscal year 2026. So yeah, let's moving on. The another thing that you should keep in mind while filing is choosing the right start date. The start date of employment is another very crucial element, you can say, in the petition.
Mhm.
So USCIS strictly requires that the requested start date be October 1st or later of the applicable fiscal year. So additionally, this year must be the date must be within 6 months of the petition's receipt date. Otherwise, USCIS will reject or deny the petition, because many employers, they make a mistake. They mistakenly list an incorrect start date, and it actually results in processing delays or even petition denials.
Mhm.
So to prevent all of this from happening, petitioners should really double check the date once, twice, or just make sure that it is the correct one before submission and align it with the USCIS guidelines. And like I said earlier, do your research properly and see that you are on the right path. Use the latest updated forms, and also double check, especially dates and spellings. Nothing should, I mean, you can never afford to have a silly mistake in your form filing, for sure. So yes, sorry. So since H1B cap selection process happens months before October, proper planning is really, really necessary, to ensure that the employee's work authorization aligns with the start of the new fiscal year. So keep that in mind, friends.
That's right. And I think, the Pasa, if we talk about the mistakes also, then
Yeah.
we just say simply that, of course, we have cross checked and we have gone through everything. But each time, even if you'll go through your form, then every time you'll find some on the other very small, small mistakes. Because it's a huge form, you need to have a proper detail, and there's a lot of thing also to cover. And
Mhm.
mostly what people do, I mean, what employers mostly do when they apply for the visa, then they are applying for the business analyst, for example. Then
Mhm.
sometimes, just to expand or just to try to make it more clear, they, instead of writing business analyst, they just write will analyze data and reports. So this is also something that can create confusion, and this is also something that can reject the petition, because this is not what USCIS has asked for. So it shouldn't be, friends, what you think that's right, and it's not what you are trying to make things clear, it's exactly how the instructions have been. You have to follow the proper instruction. If it has been asked for these many documents, if it has been asked to write each and every sentence in block letters or in small letters, or everything, the middle name is also important. So I think these small mistakes can really make a big difference. And
Yes.
we really don't want you guys to delay your process or to get rejection, I mean to face rejection. So
Mhm.
with that, I think absolutely, Napasa, you put up a very great point. And let me go ahead with our next step, and that is about providing the H1B registration selection notice. So
Mhm.
this is step three, friends, and which is all about including proof that yes, you registered the person you are hiring for the H1B lottery. So here, what you need to know, you have to submit the form I-129 for an H-1B visa, and you must
Mhm.
include a copy of H-1B registration selection notice, because every time, you have to be ready with the proof. You have to show that yes, you have been selected in the H-1B lottery process, and that too in a obviously in a right way. So that is why these documents are very important. So this is the document that you get from the US government that confirms that you entered the person into the H1B lottery and they were selected. So there's a specific spot also on Form I-129 where you need to add, that is something called beneficiary confirmation number. So this number is a unique ID that ties back to the person you are applying for. So make sure to put up this number in a very nice way and the correct way, because most of the time, it's a very common mistake that people forget to attach the H1B registration selection notice when submitting this form I-129. So make sure to carry this form, and it's very important. And with that, I think, yeah, Napasa, please go ahead with the next step.
Sure thing, Sam. But before we move ahead with more, points of discussion today, I got, Megha joining us. We got Megha joining us, and she's a dedicated paralegal assistant from a law firm. So I think without further ado, please help me welcome her. Hi, Megha. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi Nipasa and hi Sam. Thanks for having me. And I appreciate the information you guys have been providing, because this is the most important information that most of the viewers are looking out for. High tension outside, H1B lottery started today. I mean sorry, registration process started today. So I think all the information you are giving to them would add some value so that they would take all necessary precautions, choosing the right employer and going ahead with the process and what to expect.
Oh, wow. I think, Megha, you are a great speaker. We can just got to
Oh,
know from your first line only. So we are really excited to have you here. And please let us know more about you. What do you do? I mean, what work you are doing right now? Please let us know more about you.
yeah, it's been pretty much 10 years in the industry of immigrations, working for most of the NIV cases. I myself work as a paralegal for attorney firm. So we have been seeing, pretty much of very vast change with the lottery system, what to expect, and the trends in the RFEs, all these things on a daily basis. So if
So
there is something I can help you out with providing my experience, that would be great.
absolutely. So where are you located right now?
Right now, I'm located here in Virginia.
Okay, okay, all right. So what do
I'm
you
looking
think?
forward, Megha, for your expertise, and it's going to be really nice, that you share your thoughts and insights. I'm sure everybody watching us are going to benefit. So, yes.
Yeah, definitely. I would try my best to give all my experience in the nutshell in shortest time I have, so that hopefully somebody, somewhere is getting benefited with this, and I would be glad.
Absolutely. But with that, I would say, with that, Megha, I have this very, I would say, a very basic question, because most of our viewers are, I would say, just getting to know, they want to get H1B visa so badly. So I just want to get to know from you that what actual qualities or what actual skills, should employee have that makes them extraordinary, or that makes them more closer to H1B, worker? I mean, what qualities should they have? Anything that you would like us to know about?
Okay, so when I talk about the qualities of a beneficiary for a particular person to get a H1B registration, I think they need to be knowledgeable enough initially how to choose and how this lottery system exactly works. When I talk about the choosing, they should be wise enough to choose a right employer who could support them in terms of legal representation and who could also help them with the providing the knowledge, all that is important for the petition to get it approved, because the more information employer can give them about what to expect with the processing system and what does the USCIS is looking for, and maybe the employee can take it in a right way and provide them with the entire documentation that leads into the successful filing and the approval to them. So they need to be knowledgeable enough, I don't expect them to have a super duper knowledge, but at least about explaining about their job role to the employer so that they can draft the documentation accordingly, so they don't end up with any kind of difficult RFEs to answer.
All right. Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. And I think that was really important because most of our viewers are getting so confused, right? Because they are not able to identify what can be the reason behind selection of that person, but not of his own. But I think that's really important. And thank you so much, Megha, for letting us know about it. And Nipasa, why don't you go ahead and ask another question or anything that you would like to know from Megha?
Yes, Megha, I mean, your expertise and years of experience, I'm sure that you have been in this for a long time now, and H1B process, maybe every time around this year, there's a lot of excitement and anxiousness going on with you and your, how to say, with your clients who want to apply for this, maybe. And if you can share any of your experience, maybe whether it's while filing or just getting selected in the lottery, whatever the experience, anything interesting you can share with us, it'll be great.
Yeah, of course. To talk about my personal experience, as I said, as it's been more than 10 years me being into this industry, I
Mhm.
see that many professional, especially from the technology side, and there are a few people from different side like healthcare as well, who have gone through the H1B process and are going through currently. But what I generally talk about is there are so many factors. I like employer support, legal representation, and the US processing time. These three factors mainly that would create a different experience for the each person in the lottery. Few people find it really smooth process and transaction to them because of the strong documentation and the support they have from the employer. And there's something which is called as in premium processing, which would guarantees generally the decision on the case. Say it could be RFE approval or in denial, they could hear rather than waiting in the system for a longer time to get approved. The premium processing would help the people to get any update on the profile within the 15 business days. So when people choose premium processing, they file it little smoother for them. And sometimes with the regular processing timelines and the caseload that the USCIS have, they face delays, requests for evidences and the other administrative backlogs, people getting stuck with the 221Gs when the documentation is not proper. So the uncertainty of lottery system uh, is a different experience for a different person. Each and every person, it's not the same. So some people, they feel it's smooth, and some people it would add definitely a stress. But despite of all these things, we still see qualified people getting selected, and there are some chances qualified people, they just try their luck next year again.
That's right.
Yes,
But it's
Yeah.
so
but it's
sad.
always luck, right? I mean, no matter how qualified you are, sometimes if you're not lucky, you're just not selected.
Exactly. Let's do all that we can do, but rest of the thing lies in that 10% of luck what an individual holds. Maybe we should just leave the decision to the lottery system, as it is a random selection and there is nothing in our hands or an employer hands. Maybe
Mhm.
all that we can put our efforts is only after the selection process, not leaving any trace for any rejections.
Okay. So, what about this year? Since the fee is really high, is it a little different than the previous years? Like, is it the same rush or it's a little less?
Irrespective of different challenges coming in on every year, and either it's an increase in the fees. We personally never seen the numbers of the lottery are going down. Every year you see the spike in that. That is the craziness of the H1B. So
Yes.
irrespective of all the things, there has been everybody is ready with the new challenges. Everybody is ready, to get the sponsorship. They don't want to lose this opportunity to stay a little longer in the US and work and use their expertise and enhance their skills. So, disrespective of all the things happening with the changes, challenges, I personally have never seen a decrease in the lottery numbers. This is always ongoing and high and high.
Interesting.
That's
Interesting.
right. But also, Megha, don't you think that this time, as the fees are obviously a lot, $215, obviously a lot of money for any employer to, sponsor any employee. So there will be very less applicants. That's what I think. So do you think that there will be less applicants, so there will be less competition as well? So maybe the applicants, those who have been registered for the H1B lottery, do they have a better chance this time to get selection because already the competition is less and there may be less applicants? Do you think that way?
I think this increase in the fees, whatever we've been talking about, this fees is this definitely makes like little harder for the small companies to sponsor the foreign talent. But whereas the larger companies, they never find it like the difficult. So
Mhm.
there was the situation without now that like we have a change in the H1B process with this registration. There was a point wherein the employers used to pay upfront the entire fee and they used to process it. So now that at least they are paying a minimal fees, and after that registration they are ending up after the selection they are ending up paying the entire fees. So I don't think so. That should definitely make little, though it's a tough time for the smaller companies as it's a huge bump, right? Previously it was $10 and now it raised to 215. Definitely it's 10 times more than what it was previously. But hopefully smaller companies might actually face it little difficult, but end
Mhm.
of the day, if they really wanted to deploy that employee at the client location, there's no other way as well. So if they have to bring the talent in here, they have to go through this phase.
That's right. Of
So,
course.
Megha, there's a question from the audience, so I'd like to take that up for you. This is from Drive 10. Hi, Megha. How was your journey as an immigrant in the US? Would you like to share?
Definitely not smooth, I can say. I have to go through the same process of this, H1B initially. I'm glad that, with this question, whoever asked this question, thanks. It bring back my memories to the older days. But now that you can definitely see a live example is here that I myself passed all that struggle, maintaining the status, and then I'm finally here. So definitely, if you really wanted to enjoy the perks what US is giving, your growth in the skill, personal development, and professional development, you have to make sure like you are bearing the all that stress. These lottery systems give you some time, but when you are sure that you are taking care about the documentation, cooperating with your employer, choosing a right employer, no, it's you need not to worry about these things. These RFEs and all, everything comes in. But as long as the documentation is strong enough and there is you have everything all that you need to be a qualified person for the H1B, there is nothing for us to worry about. We will definitely pass that phase, but it's just a matter of time. You just need to have that patience while the employer and the attorney are dealing with the RFEs. Keep
That's
yourself
right.
cool. This is what all I can say, and always be on the positive side.
But I think, Megha, this time, everybody is so conscious. They are so anxious because it's Trump's administration this time. So I think it's becoming a little challenging for most of the applicants to get the visa. But they shouldn't lose hope. And of course, because you are also here and it feels such a big achievement, what you have dreamt for since your childhood, and now you're actually living that life. So, absolutely, with the right employer and with the right strategies and taking all the steps in a correct way, they can definitely have their visa approval.
Yeah, exactly. Um, I think all the judges need to take about like maintaining their status properly, because this is something which I see most of the time, like saying the facing the challenges, because there are different set of people. There are students who are converting their change of status to H1s. There are the other people, while they receive their job offers on EADs and then port to the H1Bs. But all this process, there is something have to maintain the status properly while they stay on the different status and they are porting to the H1B. So with these, I think we should be good.
Of course, of course. And I think we got a lot of viewers also. Megha Rajendra is here, and Christopher is here, and Christopher has a lot of things to say. Okay, I think we will take after some time. But I think Megha, we would also like to know more about like. Have you or anyone, I would say that is there any friend who faced the H1B petition rejection or maybe denial? Then what would you like to let us know that what were the reasons that he or she got during the rejection? Megha, can you hear us? Uh, Megha, are you there?
Yes,
Megha, are you there?
Yes, yes. I think I think Megha got disconnected, but I'm sure she'll be joining soon. So Sam, I think we should quickly read out some of the comments from our audience. What do you say?
Sure, why not?
So, hi Megha, are you there? Okay, I think there is some connectivity issues, but no issue, no worries. Megha, please try reconnecting. And Rajendra is saying accurate job description. Ensure your job description clearly outlines the specific skills and responsibilities required for H1B specialty occupation. Very, very important point. Yes. Thank you, Rajendra, for that. And well, he actually has more points saying employer responsibilities. Understand that your employer plays a key role in the H1B application process, including filing the petition and providing necessary documentation. And most important is maintaining communication. Stay updated on any changes to H1B regulations and maintain open communication with USCIS through the application process. Thank you so much, Rajendra. These three very important points. And this last one, yes, if you have any update, whether it's about your qualification or anything, try not to hide it, or, don't forget to mention it because it may look like a misrepresentation. So, thank you so much, Rajendra, once again for these very important points. And hi, Megha, are you there now?
yes, I'm back. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, somehow I think there was a connectivity issue, but if you can pick up where you left at, it'll be great.
Yeah, I was just talking about the challenges most of the time we are seeing. Um, it's there are different challenges what a H1B beneficiary goes through, and there are different challenges even what the employers see. So one thing what I generally see is like petition rejections or denial, sometimes RFEs. So there is nothing to panic when you generally get RFE. Work closely with your employer and the attorney. They would come out definitely with a solution, because when RFE is issued, USCIS will clearly explain like what documentation is required additionally to get your petition approved. So when you maintain that communication with your employer and attorney and listen to them, like what exactly the USCIS is looking out for and providing with the necessary information on your file, you can just avoid these RFEs, and then you'll see after submission of the additional document, definitely there is an approval coming in. So the trends of the RFEs generally most of the people see are the specialty occupation issues. These things happen when your job doesn't meet the definition of the specialty occupation. So the job duties whatever the petition talks about, whatever the petition reads, it should actually match your education criteria, as well as the level of wage the employer is offering for this particular position. So you also see the wage level concerns. So the petitions generally filed on the level one wages, you cannot you properly a 10 years experienced person cannot be categorized under the level 1. So we just need to understand the employer need to be very careful when they are trying to categorize their employees on the wages. Either it is like level 1 or level 2 based on their experience, supervision, whatever they do. So accordingly they should probably choose the wage level concern, and they should maintain that employer and employee relationship as well. So if an employer is failing to demonstrate the sufficient control over the employee's work, that is when you see the problems and RFEs of the employer and employee. And one most important thing, what I would like to highlight here is it is very important for every person to maintain their legal status in the USA properly. They have to understand the current status they are in. Uh, they should not raise any red flags anywhere, like, going out of the status. If it is a student, an OPT person who is getting his H1B picked up and trying to apply for change of status, he should think of, like, following the rules and regulations with his service in the university.
Yeah.
So if we have all these things in mind, I think definitely it would be easy for you to get the H1B approved, as long as you are mindful of these things.
That's right. And also, Megha, as you said about the specialty occupation, this time we have seen that the definition has been modified. It has been changed a bit. It has been becoming more directly related. Earlier, any STEM degree category was easily getting the H1B visa. But now it's becoming more directly related. For example, if someone is looking for the software engineer, they have to look for the background of computer science. So, do you think that it's right, or do you think earlier the process used to be that anyone who comes under STEM degree is eligible for the H1B visa holder? Do you think that process was fair enough, or this is a better one?
To talk about, like, supporting either of the process here, I generally say that, like, we never took the specialty occupation has changed exactly. So
Mhm.
all the time specialty occupation has been playing a key requirement in the H1B visa filing. It depends upon the people, how they are trying to understand. But in general sense, what we categorize is, like, the position must meet at least a few qualifications. Say it is a degree requirement, industry standard, or, like, the job complexity. So these are the things, like, job complexity plays a vital role here. The duties of the job must be so specialized, because it is very generic, like, for the USCIS to question, saying that a guy from the electronical background, how is it he is doing an IT job. But, like,
Mhm.
there is something which is called as, like, there are different people with the dual degrees. There are people whose degree uh, and experience would make them qualified for these particular jobs.
Yeah.
So I think, like, everyone comes with a different level of experience, and wherein they go through different courses and subjects, which would end of the day make them having an equivalency to the bachelor's degree.
Mhm.
uh, then probably, like, they should be qualified for this specialty occupation. So it's very vast subject. This is not something like, I say something, the other person is saying something else. Like, every person, every attorney's way of looking at this requirement is completely different. Every time you see new trending adding up to it, but the basic thing which we wanted to see is, like, minimum of bachelor's degree or the higher, or an equivalency for this position. uh, it is evident, like, in a software, a computer science guy to do a software engineering job.
All right. Thank you so much, Megha, for, I mean, such great points today. And maybe before we leave, if you have any maybe case study or something very interesting with regard to H1B that you would like to share, it'll be really nice before we leave.
Okay. Yeah, I collect, I can recollect plenty of petitions, and we see like every case is different and every case is challenging here. So, the recent trends where I can see the challenging situation is like, a very minor thing it looks like when I talk about, but like it would really raise a major concerns for all the students or else the dependents who are trying to have any job offer and then porting themselves from change of status from a different status to an H1B. So I don't say it as a case study. I just call it as like a different challenge what I'm seeing, because most of the time people find it little difficult to gather all the knowledge about their current status, whichever it could be H4s or it could be B1 B2s. There are like so many OPTs and STEM extension people who are trying to check their luck and convert into H1Bs. So all that I say is like have enough knowledge about like the students. If it is for the students, just like be working very closely with your legal department of the university. Try to ensure that all your forms like I-983's regulations are met, SEVI's regulations are met, and you're not missing out any rule here and there, because whenever it's not a sponsorship directly from a foreign country, when you are already an inland applicant being on one current status and trying to port to the H1B, USCIS will generally talk about your maintenance of status. Before granting you an H1B, they wanted to make sure that you are actually maintaining your proper status correctly at present, so that then you are qualified for the H1B. It's not like you, just like you're enrolling, you're completing your masters, but there are many things wherein you have to submit your final evaluations, update about any material changes of your job to the university. If you are missing out with these things, these regulations, you might find it little harder to get it approved, to prove to USCS that you are maintaining your status properly. So for the dependents, it's important that the principal applicant, he's actually on a valid status. So all these things like just gathering some information, looking shows like these immigration talk shows wherein
Right.
they can it sometimes feels for people very bored to go and search online, but like shows like these things, I think it is making life of more people easy, even though they can simply drive a car, enjoy their cup of coffee and still gain the immigration knowledge. So I
I
strongly
would.
recommend people to go to the shows, then find out some information and take all the necessary precautions. And I wish each and everyone, whoever going to the lottery of this year, all the best. Hopefully, they'll find like all that they have been waiting and looking for. If
Yes.
I feel like everyone should get it approved, but definitely it's not only we have to go with the quota numbers. So all that 85,000. So maybe we'll all that we can do is like provide them with available information
Yeah.
through your
Yes.
shows, guide them, and like of course like let's wish them best to see like what all they have and what are they expecting, and we are also eagerly waiting to see the new trends and new challenges.
Everyone
Yes.
is, I think.
Yeah,
All right.
and thanks to you too for having me and giving me an opportunity to share a couple of my experiences here.
Oh,
I
likewise.
seriously thank you, actually, Megha, for the real expertise, insights, very, very interesting. And you just made this show even more interesting, I would say, very, very informative. So it's really big thanks to you for joining us.
Actually,
Likewise, thank you so much. Hopefully, I'll just to catch up with you guys later once this registration lottery process is done and we see the new RFE submissions. Maybe we can talk more about in detail at that point of time.
absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah,
We will.
absolutely. It was nice to have you,
yeah.
actually.
Thank you so much. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day. Bye bye.
Yeah, thank you
You
so
too,
much.
Megha.
All right.
Thank you.
I think it was great, Napasa. We really got to know a lot of things, and it was such a great feeling, to connect with our viewer who turned out to be a paralegal. So thank you so much, Megha, and it would be lovely, friends, if you could also join us and let us know more about you. What do you think about the situation, or what do you think about the topic? Anything that you would like us to know about, and we would love to know more about you. So yeah, I think that's all, Napasa, and I think let's put to an end to it because we have already covered a lot of information and we already spoke directly to our viewers. So I think let's wrap this session. What's it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, thanks to also Rajendra, Christopher, very important points, and of course, Megha for putting stars to this episode today. Because without her, I think it wouldn't be the same. So thank you once again, Megha, for joining us, and I really hope that you will be able to join us again in future for discussing many other topics. Friends, I really know and hope that you resonated with today's episode. And please do not forget to like, share, and also subscribe to Immigration Talk Show if you haven't as yet already. And hit the bell icon so that, whenever we have discussions like these, you're notified. And you can also join us. Please do not hesitate to join us. It's just a chit chat. So feel free to share with us in comments or call us, and it'll be really nice to know you. So thank you once again, all you folks, for watching us here. And this is Daily Immigration Dose. I hope that you have a wonderful Friday ahead, rest of your Friday, and a very happy weekend as well. All the best to folks who are, filing in. And I pray that Lady Luck, finds you so that you'll be lucky enough in this year's lottery. So all the very best once again. And yeah, take care, do your research properly, stay safe, have fun. And yeah, I think that's it for now.
All right. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye and good luck. And keep watching Immigration Talk Show.